All right. Hey, I see you. I see you in there. You're scrolling Instagram and you are looking at these beautiful acrylic designs like my friend Steve Zara here, uh, putting just the most beautiful designs in acrylic. Today we're not doing that. we're we are wrecking some acrylic. So these are some tips and tricks, I guess you could use. So we're gonna do things the wrong way and see the result, and then that way, if you're new to this industry, you can uh, pull some information from this. If you're experienced, like dental things, add some comments down below of some tricks that you use to compensate for some of these things. So with that, let's get started. Let me show you what I have going on here. I have all these models to sprinkle today, and hopefully we can do them fast. So here is, let's see if I can move that. Okay. I'm going to do a plaster model with separator, a plaster model with no separator. This is a digital realm, guys. This is digital. So I'm going to do one with separator and then one without. Now this is a little bit different. I'm going to actually just only put separator on the distal part. You see that white line right there? I didn't put any separator on the back, on the lingual side of these teeth. So we're going to see how that sticks. This will also show how if you damage the separator before you go to the acrylic, because I do my separator, then I bend my wires and attach them. If somehow you damage or rub this off, this is kind of a fragile separator. This is what will happen. So this is no separator. And I have an example here. This is a model that was sent to me, and I don't think it was cured right. It absolutely fused to it. I had to just reprint, ask for the scan, reprint, and then do it my way. Because I think I even put separator on, but I don't think it was cured. So I kept this as an example for the school I'm building, and so people to watch. So we have separator. So if you're wondering what separator I'm using, JBC's best ever separator for the stone and plaster. And I'm not using a model separator for the 3D printed models. I'm using Part All, which is an acrylic separator, not to be used on 3D printed model arches, but you can't tell me what to do. I'm using it on 3D printed models because, dadgum, Pete is crowing today. I'm using it on this because 3D printed resin is pretty much acrylic. So this has a chemical bonding. The acrylic you put on here will bond with the resin and will fuse together like this. There's no way of getting that separated out. Let me reduce there we go. You can see it's just fused. It just broke the teeth in half. This one, the acrylic gets into the plaster, it's going to have a mechanical retention because the plaster is porous, and pretty much what the separator does is fill in those porosities, makes a film over the top, and the acrylic will actually get into the porosity. So we'll see how that turns out, how hard that's going to be to take off. Next, we're going to put dry, and we're going to submerge this in water. This is a dry model. We're going to submerge it in water. I do have separator on it. This one is dry, but we're going to steam it, meaning it's going to cure outside of the water first using the steam method. I do have separator on this too. And then we have another model here I've got ready to go, and that's soak first. So I just have it capillary action so I don't ruin the... If y'all don't know, if you submerge these for too long, the water will start eating away at the plaster because the plaster is a base and the water is then an acid compared to the plaster. And so it will... Anyway, I'm using the capillary action to raise, it just soaked up slowly through there. So this is how I used to do it back in the day before I found out about the dry or the steam technique. So this is straight submerged. This will go straight into the water. And then if we have time, no, we're definitely going to do this. I hate that these 3D printed models are so dark. I have temperature, monomer temperature. So I have hot, I have a bottle of monomer out on my porch, and it's 100, maybe 100 degrees outside. So we're gonna see how that goes. And then I'm gonna have cold monomer. So we're gonna see how fast this sets up compared to this. And then if we have time, we'll do gravity. I got a lower here, and we'll do gravity and how to hold it. And if you don't hold it, it'll slump, that kind of thing. I'm probably gonna have slumping with the cold. Probably won't have slumping with the hot, but I'll probably cure before I get in the pressure pot. And then again, I'm gonna try to go as fast as I can. We're gonna trim a select few of these and pumice and polish them so we can see the end result, so that you can see the end result, and you can see the end result and go. So again, if you're new at this, you can say, oh, I'm having those tiny little bubbles. That was, I didn't use the pressure pot. I don't have that on here. Oh, that was my first step. Thank goodness I got a couple ready to go. So this will be bench. I knew I had extra. This will be pot, as in pressure pot, not what you're thinking. So this will be bench cure. This will be in the pressure pot. And let's actually start with those. Hopefully I put enough. Well, this is how I put my separator on. I got a little Boston round bottle here. I'm going to put one more. I got these out just in case I needed extra ones. And then I just realized I didn't set up for bench cure versus pressure pot cured under pressure. I was going to do those first. But let's do the separator, non-separator first. And we're going to let those dry. So I'm going to grab these two, and I'm going to meet you over here. Okay, separator, no separator. I put 3 coats, 2 or 3 coats, and I put 0 coats. I did 2 or 3 coats on this one because it already had separator on it from a previous appliance I did. I don't think I ever put separator on this, so this is completely dry. And I do have some names here, like this one, and I don't know if y'all can see. This one says separator, so we'll do separator first, and that way when I get them out of the pressure pot, it's going to be good. So I'm not going to worry too much about how this looks. As far as the shape of the acrylic. So let me embed this name. I think I got it backwards. Okay, it's okay. And again, you experienced guys and gals out there, put in the comments, some tips and tricks that you use, that you see that could probably help me. Not used to sprinkling in gloves, but I wanted to set a good example. And I'm going to use clear powder, polymer, and clear monomer, just so that we can see everything going on in the acrylic. And one thing I do want y'all to notice is how the monomer reacts to the plaster when there's not a separator on it. So I'm going to put a little coat there. So we're going to do this. So as you can see, these are actually duplicates of some 3D printed models that I took. I keep all my models. I don't know if y'all do, but I definitely keep all my models. Any extra ones, extra prints I have, Just kind of like that. I send models back with the retainers, of course, but if I have an extra one that I print it, I'll do that. I'll keep it. That's what I'll do. So this is, put a little freeze on that one. Again, I'm trying to put some controls on here. So I want to sprinkle these both the same and with the same mixture. I was going to do, and maybe I can do it if y'all want me to, is powder and monomer control. But I don't know if I can untrain my hands. Many of you know you just do things automatically with your hands, and I was like, I don't think I can slap it on here like this. Maybe I can. Look, I'm doing it now. Okay, I'm going to, let me cut this just to make it easier to pull off. I got a little acrylic left over on there. All right, let's put that in the pressure pot. I'm using the steam method on all these. Again, that's another control thing. I don't want to submerge these and cause two problems at once. So let me cut this. Again, I'm going to need all the help I can get to get this one off. Same thing with that 3D printed one. Okay, that's just to help me get it off. Save some time trimming. Again, I'm not being perfect on these. Let me switch the camera real quick. I'm going to show y'all. Oh, I was on the wrong camera anyway. Okay, sorry about that. So I'm going to stack both of these on this coffee cup. So I'll have a coffee cup in here that I'm stacking both of them on. I'm going to pressurize it. So let's go to the, yeah, that's the camera I'm supposed to be on. We're going to go to the separator and non-separator on the 3D printed acrylic. Oh, Avanzada, hello, Dr. Gilu. Oh, that's a new way of saying that. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing, but with separator this time. This is the one with separator, and the other one is with partial separator. Oh, I didn't put the tag in the other one. I bet you it's going to be easy to find. All right, let me put the tag in here. This is going to be 3D, Sep 3D. Okay. Again, this is so I can get them on the, so we know, get off of there. Get off of there. Had too much caffeine this morning, my hands are shaking. What's everyone's favorite drink in their lab? Is it coffee? Do y'all have a coffee pot? We used to have a Keurig in here. It was nice to grab a cup of coffee. And I also like energy drinks. I've kind of gone to a more healthy version of powdered drinks and stuff. I think my powder is, there's a clog in it. That'd be another trick. I think I do have tips and tricks for acrylic, and that's one of them, is keeping the tips of your bottles clear. Steve Zara has a really cool, I think he told me he gets it from TP Orthodontics. They're a little metal tip for the powder. Okay. Again, I'm not too worried. Okay, so this is the partial separator, and the front teeth do not have a separator on it. So we're going to see, I'm thinking these front teeth are going to break off and or the acrylic will break off. Oh, I need to put the tag in here. So this is no separator 3D. In case y'all wonder, this is how I put in my, who was that? This is how I put in my patient names. Oh, keep an eye out, Cade. This one makes me nervous. This is the biggest issue when we moved for Ortho Labs when we went digital. This was the biggest issue, and it's taken a while to perfect it. Now, taking retainers off as plaster models just seems like a cakewalk. It seems so easy. I still get nervous to this day because you never know if you missed a spot, and that's why I'm doing this partially, the front without separators, because it kind of show you, make sure you get a complete even coating on the whole thing. So I'm going to make a cut on this one. I have another live stream. Should have a playlist called Acrylic, I think. I have another stream where I show how I do multiple cases like this, where it is where I do one, I let it sit a little bit. Now, it's almost bench curing, and we'll get to that next. So it's just getting the initial setup, so I can watch to make sure it doesn't slump. Because there's many times, sure it's happened to y'all, that I've done separator, sorry, not separator, I've put something in the pressure pot, thought it was fine, and I get it out and it's all slumped. Especially with these 3D printed, because once I cut it and scrape this, the acrylic could slump onto this freshly scraped, which means when I scraped it, I took off the separator. I am going to, just in case there's an undercut, remove this. All right, into the pressure pot it goes. These 3D printed models, you can submerge them or anything. Okay. Oh, I got the wrong. Here we go. All right, next. What did I say was next? There's hot and cold. And let's just go with the dry and submerge real quick. So this is going to be dry, and we're going to submerge it. So this is going to be the bad one, or the one that's going to mess up. This is dry and steam, so this shouldn't mess up, hopefully. Now let me go back over here. If you are just joining, I am doing all the wrong things with this acrylic. So these are all been have separator the same amount of coats. But this one is a dry model, and it's going to, I'm going to submerge it directly into the water that's in the bottom of the pressure pot. This pressure pot actually comes with a little stand below, or a little tray in the bottom. I don't use that. I like to use this coffee cup thing, because I like to do a final submerge, a final cure. So I'll cure on the coffee cup first. Nope, should have done monomer first. Now I really like watching are those technicians that are in big ortho labs, and this is what they do all day, and they are so good at it. I worked for a guy, Jason Brown, and he could sprinkle these with such precision that he only needed one burr to trim them. And that's how he taught everybody. Me, I need like a lathe wheel and, you know, 3 or 4 different types of burrs. This one was, you had a separate handpiece for sandpaper and a Dremel tool with a pretty good acrylic burr on it. And all you did was just trim off the flashing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut this, because I want to try to keep everything the same. And I'm not going to bench cure this. I'm going to, oh, that's my next one, bench cure. Yeah, I'm not going to bench cure it. That initial set, I want it to be wet when I put it in. So let me change over cameras here. I keep tripping over my stuff. All right, so in the pressure pot, I got those 4. So this one, and I want to show y'all, I'm gonna submerge it. And you see all those bubbles coming off of it. Those bubbles are traveling through the acrylic. And we're gonna see how bad it is. Now, the trick, if you forget or whatever, flip it over where it teeth down, and so, because the bubbles always go up. So if you flip it over, you have less of a chance of that happening. So I'm going to pressurize it. You can see all those bubbles coming out. So like I said, I'm going to pressurize it and like normal, and we'll see if that helps reduce. Come on, camera, pick up or stand up. All right, the next one is this is going to be steam method. So this will be our control. This will be how it should be done, so we can see a before and after. And then what we're going to do is the pre-soak submerge. Did I put a name in that? I cannot remember. I'm forgetting to put my names in here. So this one is going to be steam. I think that one we're going to pretty much know how bad that is when we go to trim it. We'll definitely trim and polish that one. And this default one. And then we'll trim and polish the bench cure versus pressure pot cure. And I'll tell you in a little bit why I'm doing something crazy like this. And there's 2 reasons, and I'll tell you the first reason later. And the second reason is this happened to me. I put a lower holly in the pressure pot and then put pressure on it. And then I was like, oh yeah, I need to get that other retainer out. Got the other retainer out and forgot to repressurize the pressure pot. So it might as well have been bench cured. And it had bubbles all in it. I wish I would have kept it so that you could all see it. This side might be a little thick, but that's okay. Now, one thing I've noticed with plaster versus 3D printed is the plaster does soak up a little more monomer than 3D printed resin. It just pools. So you actually use less monomer, or I guess the other way of saying that is you use more monomer on plaster / stone models. And of course, there are more. I think plaster is more thirsty, more porous than stone. Stone's harder. All right, so this is going to go steam method, and I'll switch over here. So again, my pressure pot, my coffee cup, putting it on a coffee cup, and let that cure. Well, if I can get my, well, come on. What's going on here? I think that got stuck. Oh, there we go. Oh, there it goes. Well, if that explodes, y'all are my witnesses. So now we're gonna do pressure pot cured and bench cured. So let's just do the bench cured first. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my bench. Grab my name here. I keep calling it a name because that's what I'm used to using. What I usually do is just I face the name toward the I face the name toward the tissue. I put down 1 or 2 layers of clear polymer with clear monomer, and face the name toward the tissue. So that way, if I do like a design or something on top, the name doesn't get in the way. Okay, so this, I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna worry too much about thicknesses and things like that. Guys, make sure I don't put this in the pressure pot out of habit. See, like I talked about before, my hands and do things that are trained. You know, if y'all are new to this industry, you'll get there. Where you're, otherwise you got to consciously think about it. The acrylic and monomer I'm using is from JBC. It is superfine acrylic, splint acrylic, 416. Okay, so this one's going to go into the pressure pot. This is our control. Good news about the me missing the names on 2 of those is all these mouths are different. I tried to get the same type, same size mouth, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. Okay, something's going on with my powder. There we go. What Priscilla says at JBC is sometimes it gets, especially in the summer, when you order like a big 5-pound, I ordered my clear acrylic, my splint acrylic in 5-pound measurements or weights. It lasts me about 2 to 3 months. And so with that, it gets settled, it settles down, and then the heat in the UPS truck, traveling, and then in the warehouse, and it's not AC. The polymer kind of melts together or starts sticking together, and so sometimes it causes problems with when you're sprinkling it out, you'll get little chunks or something in there. So she said it's recommended to shake it up, break up all that stuff. I think she said if you had a mill or a sieve or something. Ooh, let me cut this. Again, I'm trying to do everything the same. on each one of these mistakes. Is it a mistake if it's on purpose? I don't know what to call it. On purpose mistake. All right, that's going to stay on the bench. This, running out of acrylic. Who knew all these? All these retainers I'm making. I didn't worry about wire bending. That's a whole nother. This is just basic acrylic control. Okay, I'm gonna put it in a pressure pot. Y'all don't have to see me do that because y'all have seen it before. This is the control. I sprinkle those so fast. Usually by the time I'm putting the second one in, the thing will have its initial cure and I can put it in the water. Okay, so we did bench cure, because this acrylic is cold cure. It's cured with a chemical instead of heat. The heat helps speed it up. And so, speaking of that, I have these two. This one's going to be the hot. This is going to be the cold. I'm going to go grab those monomer bottles. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me. I'm going outside. Okay. It is 99 degrees. 99 degrees out here. So I'm assuming this bottle's been sitting out for an hour or two. And then I just grabbed some out of the refrigerator. So this is the one that's been outside, the one that's been in 99 degree weather. This is one that's been in my refrigerator. I think it's 32 degrees. Okay, I'm going to do the cold first because I think that's going to take longer to set up. And this is a trick I use all the time in the summer. Sometimes the AC doesn't work in here. And I mean, it doesn't work well, especially when it's over 100 degrees here in Texas. And I'll put my monomer in the fridge, especially when I'm doing like splints and there's a big acrylic setup. I'll do, let's see, this is cold. Didn't forget my name this time, so cold. And so, like, I'll do it for splints, because or anything like a twin block or something that needs acrylic stacked really high. You'll be working with the acrylic before you pressurize or put it in the pressure pot. So it helps retard the chemistry going on, the reaction, chemical reaction inside of this polymer and monomer. It's going to be hard to demonstrate this cold one, I believe. Probably both of them, actually. You're just going to have to take my word for it. See, it's already... I'm going to try to do freezing, not freezing, but freeze it with powder to keep it from slumping. There, that should be good enough. All right, we're going to try to get that to do its initial set. And remember, this one over here is still bench curing. All right, hot monomer. I do not recommend this. I'm afraid of what's going to happen. So it's kind of like if your lab starts getting warm, your monomer that's sitting out will be getting warm. I mean, just being in the 80s inside can cause problems. And even you got to watch out for You know, I have this ventilated outside. I got an outside vent. Oh, I need to put my name in there. Not my name, but this is hot. And I'm also, oh, look at that. Come on. I'm also curious to see if this hot will produce bubbles also. So we're gonna, just realized I should have got a black background so we can see bubbles and stuff. I'm really trying to work as fast as I can. I guess just out of, I should have tried to work both of them the same speed. I guess I am. So again, this is hot monomer. Well, hot. It was outside for a couple hours in 99-degree temperature. All right, so you can see this started slumping on me. It slumped right there. So let's cut this, see if this is ready for the pressure pot. Oh, it's still kind of not there perfectly. Usually you can tell when it's set how clean the this part comes off when it. Okay, I think we might be good. All right, put that in the pressure pot. This one definitely isn't slumping, even though I left that. So let's see if I can cut this. Yeah, it's about the same as the cold monomer, but if you think about the time, I had done the cold monomer first, and it set the whole time that I was sprinkling this one. I know a lot of it has to do with like humidity too, and that helps with the cure, not the band, the curing process. So we'll put that in here also. That's all of them. Yeah, that's all of them. Let me get these out. The ones that are already cured, those are over here. Let's get these over here. And I'm going to do them under this camera. Turn this off for the noise. And oh, I didn't do the soak. Okay, I got it. Let me separate these and I'll do the soak. This is super cool and useful for incoming acrylic techs. Yeah, we'd love to make a video like this also, along with our different flasking methods that affect it. On the denture side, that's true. That's a good point. Avanzada broke a 3D model once trying to remove the retainer, learn the lesson. Yeah, it's scary. I still get nervous. Okay, so this plaster with separator. So we're gonna see how, yep, that just popped right off. And you can look at the surface. So let's see what no separator. Okay, it's popping off, which is the bonus with ooh, a little harder to get off. The surface is a little not as shiny, but we'll see when we polish it up. I was expecting more of the stone to come off, but I guess, see that little piece of stone stuck to it there. All right, now watch the no separator 3D come off easily. So this is 3D printed model with separator. You can see that it's hard. It's harder than the non-sep. There we go. There we go. And then it's nice. I do love the inside of 3D printed models. The retainers, the intaglio surface, yeah. So this is 3D printed model with separator. This is partially separated 3D printed model. So let's, there we go. There we go. You can see it's, I don't know if you saw the air get in there. It has not reached that yet. Here we go. Nope. Oh, okay. I can do this. Oh, yep. It broke almost exactly on that line. Let's see if I can actually try to get this off. No. 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 This is a solid model, by the way. I bet if this was a hollow model, I would have broken the crap out of it. Yeah. So, there's that. You can see exactly where the separator line was at. It actually separated a little bit in there. Actually, no. I think that's that's acrylic. It broke this way, so there's actually acrylic in there. That's acrylic on there because I can see how shiny it is. So it broke off a piece and stuck to it. Wow. All right. So, like I said, I forgot one. Let's go back to here. This is pre-soaked, but I'm going to submerge it. There we go. So I got my thing in the water. It's soaked. I've already had it separator before so I got to make sure I'm using the right monomer. I don't want to use the hot monomer on here. So this is going to be submerged from the beginning. I just tend to do steam method on everything, just in case. But again, if I have to put something in the water, I'll put them teeth down. Now, I have heard some labs you could actually soak the models first and not use separator because the water fills in all the porosity and doesn't allow the acrylic to go in there. I haven't tried it, but I could see it working in conjunction with separator and it being good. Plus the model's cold from being in the water. So I might have to watch this, make sure it doesn't. I'm cutting it a little soon. Oh, yeah. Put that back down. Well, I think this is cured. This is the bench cure. I'm gonna test it. So it still sets up, I don't know, in 10 minutes or so by itself. And like Dental Thing said, the denture side, they use a lot of heat cured. So it's different. I don't know if y'all use cold monomer when you're press packing to give y'all more time or not. All right, I'm gonna put that in the pressure pot. Oh, remember I'm submerging this. Let's see if we see bubbles. And also another reason I started doing this was because of I got a comment. It was like, how do you get rid of bubbles? And so hopefully this will reach whoever did that comment. So I'm going to submerge this, and I don't see bubbles, not like the other one. So again, I'm going to submerge that. Let's grab the steam method and the, try not to break things. And this is the submerge. This is the bad one. That's going to be the bad one. And then this is the steam method. And I forget what this is. We'll find out. So we'll put these in the water. That was the hot, that was the cold. And let's move these back to the bench along with this one. Okay. I forgot what this one was. Hopefully I put a name in there. I'm going to have to lay them out again. Separator, no separator. Soak is in there. This is bench cure. Oh, this is the bench pressure pot cured. So I'm going to get that. There we go. Watch me break it like I didn't put separator on it. I put separator on both of these. So it should. There we go. Oh, that sounds weird. When that separator's dry like that. You can see that film. You can see the separator film. Usually it kind of dissolves in the water. But yeah, you can see that real thin Remember putting Elmer's glue on your palm and then you could peel it off? That's kind of what that reminds me of. So hopefully I have a name in here. Yeah, I do. Do I have a name in here? I don't think I did. That's my control. So we are running out of time. Can't do gravity. We did this. I don't need to trim this one because, you know, it's broke. It probably don't need to trim this one. No, this one. No. Oh, right here. This is 3D separator. So this is a control. We kind of all know what that looks like. I do want to trim. This is with separator versus. Actually, the big one is going to be the bench cure versus the pressure pot cure. And this one is the steam method. So dry model, steam method. Oh, that popped right off. So there shouldn't be any air bubbles in that. And then dry, but submerged. There we go. Yeah, so we'll see if there's any huge air bubbles in here. Okay, so let's do these. Let's do these two and these two. So we'll do the bench cure versus pressure pot and the submerge versus steam method. And then these are, I got the hot and cold in there, but they're probably done. So I'm going to put these in the trim box. We're going to go a little long today. So hopefully I can trim these fast for y'all. Let me... I think that one. I think that needs to go a little longer. The soak first before the submerge. And if y'all use different terminology, let me know in the comments below. This is hot, so we'll trim that one. Mainly I just want to get it, I don't worry about this, the shape of it or thickness of it. Oh, this is the cold. Mainly the trimming, I'm just going to try to get to a high shine stage so y'all can see that. All right, so we had cold and hot. We'll see if those make any difference in the looks of the acrylic. if it's just the setup of the acrylic. Okay, so let's get that submerge one out. Yeah, I think that's done. All right, so this is soak first, submerge. And we can see the difference between that and dry submerge and steam no submerge. All right, let me get set up. My camera here. Y'all hang in there. Hopefully. There is some, trying to get some light over here, sorry. And I'm going to move a camera over. Let's see if I can get this just sitting on top of here. Nope, Gemini, I didn't ask for you to pop up. And I think we're good there. Let's switch cameras. This one. You can see it's messy from yesterday. Let's move this. We don't need that. Okay. And double check that y'all can see this. So we're going to fast trim all these, and we got a stack of them. So again, we're just going to do a real quick rough trim. Again, I need to make sure that I don't spend any unwanted time here. Again, these are not going in a patient's mouth, thank goodness. Just try to get somewhat of the same thickness. Okay. Clean up this border. Which one is this one? Again, Kate, don't worry about it. Just get the thickness there. I believe I bit off more than I could chew. There's a bunch of these. I got 2 more after this one. There we go. Sometimes I'm also trimming them because the bubbles, might be encapsulated in that top layer of acrylic. And trimming will open those bubbles up. Okay, let's get some hand pieces, a hand piece with the burr, and pretty much I'm just going to take out all the big scratches from the wheel. Again, I'm not going to worry about shaping it too much. Just want to get rid of those big scratches, make it easier to pumice, so we can see all the insides of the acrylic. There we go. Again, it's so hard to, it's kind of doing this with my left hand. It's kind of, I've trained my hands and brain to do certain things, so it's hard for me to rush this. Again, you just got to remember, your goal is to take out the big scratches. And then I'm going to sandpaper all these. Alright, so if you're just joining us, I am trimming all the controls and the mistakes, the on-purpose mistakes. Again, I don't have a good word for that, of my acrylic. So some, this one does look bad. Some are, bench cured, some have separator, some doesn't have separator. What is that? I don't know, that was weird. What is this one? Well, I don't have a name in there. And so I'm trimming them so I can pumice all these and polish them, and that will give you the best view on the inside of the acrylic, the results of doing things the wrong way. Now watch, all these turn out fine. That's just my luck live streaming this. I was just thinking I probably need to put some chapter markers in here for those of y'all that are watching I'll probably put them in here and y'all are going, thank you, I didn't want to watch you trim 100 of these things. Okay, last one. Then we'll move to sandpaper, then pumice, then polish. Now this might be a good training exercise for new people in the acrylic world. There we go. All right, let's do some sandpapering. And I like to do the sandpaper because it's like, I call it pre-pumicing. It just makes the pumicing go much faster and easier. And just like that burr took out the big scratches from the aluminum oxide wheel, this will take out the scratches of that burr. You know, those points are sharp. And I will pumice the tissue side, which, you know, when I was in lab school, that was a no-no. You never pumice the inside. I just touch it a little bit with the pumice just to get rid of any sharp points or something. Sometimes there's little pinholes you don't see, and the acrylic gets in there, and it makes a pinhead of acrylic on the inside. Oh, get over there. Sandpapering. This is where, on the recorded version, if I was recording this, I'd fast forward. Again, I'm not going to worry about too much. I see an air bubble. I'm not going to worry too much about making these acrylic perfect, and I just want them shined up so that we can see on the inside, because this rough matte finish, you can't really see what's going on until you high shine it. And that's the worst part, is like that one that I accidentally bench cured in the pressure pot 2 days ago. I didn't know until I went to pumice and polish it, and all these tiny little air bubbles were in there. Get a fresh area. Last one. Oh, I left my gloves on. I would suggest not trimming with gloves on. You get a burr wrapped up into your glove and it presses it against your skin. It's not fun. I just forgot about them. Alright, let's go pumice. How many of these? I didn't even count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 mixture of controls and what am I trying to say? Controls and mistakes. On purpose mistakes. I still got to come up with a good word for that. What I'm going to do now is I'm getting the pumice area ready. Hold on a second. Let me switch camera so y'all don't get sick. Hello. I have to use a this wireless camera to move around my lab so y'all can see each stage. But I can see where it would make y'all sick. I'm going to shrink this down. Okay, let's move back to this. This is my pumice area. Let's see, I'm gonna pumice dried out. Ooh, I probably put way too much water in there. Perfect. All right, get my wheel. Not very big wheel. Okay, let's get the pumice in these. I don't know about y'all. Let me turn this off because that might be messing with the sound. Pumicing, I try to do the same thing. I'll do the border around the teeth. I'll do this back border, and then you go inside and try to move it around a lot. And again, I'm not going to spend too much time making these perfect. Just enough. Actually, let's just go high. You know what I didn't do on the last one was I didn't do the inside. Let's see if I can do that. What do y'all do? Do y'all pumice on high or on low? I tend to like low. I tend to get I feel like a better shine. I feel like high tends to put grooves in there if you're not careful. But again, you can compensate by the way you move it around and stuff. The lab I worked at, they did a lot of everything on high, and everything came out beautifully. I just like pumicing on low. I like the spread. You know how it flattens out. Okay, do the tissue side. Just kiss it just a little bit. On the tissue side, let's go back to high. Oh my gosh. This has got to be the one that was submerged, dry model submerged. This might be the worst one. Okay. Surprised I haven't slung one of these. I tend to sling them more on high speed. Definitely like these bigger mouths like this. Sure makes it easier. All right, I don't know about y'all. I'm excited to see how these all came out. Oh, well, of course the last one I did sling. Where'd that thing go? All right, there we go. Give me a like on this video if you've slung a retainer before and lost it. Just one thumbs up, or a thumbs up for every time, but make sure it's even numbers. All right, I'm gonna rinse them. And then we're going to hot shine them real quick. And then we are going to dry them. And then we are going to view the results. Again, a lot of this stuff, it shows up. Oh, there we go. Oh, I don't want to. I like hot shining on low. So pretty much same method. A little on the rough side, that one. Okay. That is, these are rough. These actually turned out more rough than I thought. Rough, like ripples in the acrylic and stuff from trimming so fast. But I do not want to keep y'all suspended. I think we're going to see what we need to see anyway. I think I know which this one is. Can y'all guess? Oh, there's a name in there. I'll cheat it. It's the pumicing and polishing stage like this, where the oopsies, the mistakes, you see them. And then you gotta decide. Do I remake it? And yeah, if you want to do the right thing, you remake it. And then all the people behind you. So a lot rides on the acrylic person. You know, to make it too thick, and the trimmers take too long. Okay. Clean these real good. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing one. 6. Uh-oh. Didn't I count 7? Oh, it's right here. Y'all probably saw that the whole time. I was like, didn't I count 7 before? All right. I'm not ultrasonicking these, and I'm not steaming them, or we're just gonna look at them raw. All right. I don't know about y'all. I'm ready to see these results. I think I'm gonna be disappointed some of these turned out better than they should have. Okay. All right. So we have Let's see. Here we go. Draw off my hands. Oh, I got some comments. Let's see. On purpose mistakes equals intentional error equals controlled chaos. That's what I would call it in class. I like that. Controlled chaos. Vlad, before you know it, you polished it through. Was taught high lathe. I like low myself on pumice and high, low shine. Okay. See, I like low pumice myself. Slinging is durability test. That's a great point. It's good for advertising. We test all of our products for their durability. That is a great point. I really like that. Do you have OCD even with numbers too? I'm super OCD with it. Well, is it, you talking about my count? Yeah, I'm OCD with making sure that these are nice and smooth and everything. And these are not that. So I'm just grabbing the first one. So this is hot cure. So with the glove, now if you notice, there are some color differences. I was using tinted clear. The two colored one, the two crystal clear ones are crystal monomer. The other ones are tinted. So from what I can tell, I don't see much difference. This does look yellower though. The hot one looks a little more yellow. As far as like bubbles and stuff, I don't see anything too bad. Now, so this one is mainly just for the hot and cold is mainly for, okay, so that doesn't fit. Isn't this my hot one? Oh, there's a piece of leftover acrylic. Oh, well, I don't know why that's not. Well, this might be a problem with the hot. Kind of stuck a little bit there. Why is this not sitting down? So this proves my point of non-separator if you don't get good coverage. So I didn't get a good coverage. I got it on this tooth. I'm going to just grind. I should just grind it out, but there we go. I think I got it. And broke that tooth off too. Still. There we go. Snapped in there. So cold, hot. So mainly the big problem with this is the hot will set up too fast on you. The cold will set up too slow, but sometimes you want to use the cold to your advantage. You can also use hot to your advantage. You can you could sprinkle multiple at a time. Or you sprinkle faster, or salt and pepper faster. So that's the hot and cold. That song is in my head, yes. You're hot and you're cold. All right, so this is, who is this? This, did I put a, this looks like bench cure. I don't think it goes to that one. Where's the model for this? Oh, let's do a process of elimination. So this is steam method. You can see what I was talking about right here. There's a little bit of a bump. Sometimes there's a little, like there's little pinholes that you don't catch. And so that's why I do pumice. I try to snag those off with the pumice. There. That's the steam. Didn't have any issues with it. Hard to tell because of rough acrylic. All right, so what's this one? What's this one? Process of elimination. I didn't put names on a bunch of these. Bench cure. This one. Okay. So that means that this one, this is the control. So this is how it should come out all nice and clear. Probably should steam it so you can see it, how much more cleaner it is. I just pulled some of that stuff off the model on there. But you see how nice and clear. And then this is what you get if you bench cure it. So this is what you just get, thousands of tiny little bubbles on bench cure or cold cure if you don't put it in the pressure pot. So the acrylic has, I believe, an exothermic reaction. So you need to bring the pressure, the atmospheric pressure, up 1 bar. And so I kind of wonder if in Denver, Acrylic Labs or Ortho Labs in Denver, if they need to pressurize, because it has exothermic, so the pressure keeps that in check, the pressure. So that was the big one I wanted to see, was bench cured versus regular pressure pot cured. All right, so that one's submerged, this one's soak, and that one's steam. Okay, so this is dry submerge. I was expecting a lot more air bubbles. I do see some like artifacts and stuff, like a line there. There's whatever's going on here. I think that was a bubble that came to the surface. So, oh, there's some big bubbles there. Yeah, mainly right there. But that could have appeared anywhere in here. You never know what's going to come out. So that actually didn't turn out too bad. So this is separator. Maybe if I didn't have separator, the separator might have helped redirect the air bubbles coming out. And this is, I submerged it, but I pre-soaked it first. And actually this looks like it was bench cured a little bit. It's got tiny little air bubbles in it. Can you see those? This is the result I would have thought I would have got from the submerged without soaking first. See all those tiny little air bubbles? So that was soaking it in the water, or submerging it in the water. Yeah, you get tiny little, I didn't get any of that on here. Oh yeah, now that I look, I do see tiny air bubbles in there too. Both tiny, and there's another one trying to go out right there. And then this is steam method. I slapped some of this acrylic. So that's another thing we can learn, is sometimes if you're sprinkling really fast, you'll get clumps of polymer in there. But yeah, I don't see, not like this anyway. See the bubble difference? Wish my camera was better. So the top one is submerged, the bottom one is steam method, dry model. So steam method, dry model. The dry model turned out pretty good. I thought this would be really bad, but there's a big air bubble here that would have to be ground out and filled in. So anyway, that's that. And again, I didn't trim these or anything. This is with separator. This is without no separator. Again, this turned out better than I thought. But you can see it just looks a little bit more cloudy. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, you can. It's a little bit more cloudy. It means it picked up a layer of this stone on here, and you'd have to pumice it to get it to not be so cloudy. But there we go. That is bench cured. That's the big one. And then pressure pot cured. And then we have submerged dry model. Turned out pretty good. There's a couple air bubbles in there. We got, this one turned out the worst. Well, not, the bench cure was the worst, but this one was submerged, but I soaked it first. I soaked the model first. So it looks like it doesn't make a difference. It still had a lot of air bubbles. And then this one was steam method. So it's probably a lot like this control. But if you notice, it's clearer on the 3D printed models. They just come out way clearer than the stone models. They have more of a rough matte finish from the rough texture on the stone. But there we go. What were these? Separator and no separator. Obviously, we knew what was going to happen. I didn't separate the lingual of the teeth and the acrylic. I should have used colored acrylic, I guess. I just want to see the air bubbles better. Yep. And so separator came out fine. So that's it. Oh wait, what's this? Oh, hot and cold. That was the other one. I feel like the hot just kind of yellowed a little bit more and just was setting up a little bit faster than the cold. That's just a matter of working with your hands, learning how to do it with your hands. But that being said, man, that was an hour-and-a-half stream. I'm glad y'all hung out. Again, hopefully I can get some chapter markers in here for those of you watching the recording. And if you've watched this far, I want to, and you're new to this industry, or you want to advance your orthodontic lab skills to advance your career. You know, you want to fill in the skills gap. I have started a community. That is not it. Share this tab. I've started an Orthodontic Lab Academy over on school.com. The link is down below. Again, if you're new to this, you want to maybe open your own lab, I have a few tiers. It starts at $9 just to see I got wire bending 101 set up in there, and I got, I'm working on acrylic 101, and that's where this stemmed from. That's where this idea came from, because I'm starting to put together the outline of teaching how to do salt and pepper technique acrylic in an ortho lab. And so I thought, let me cover all the bad mistakes. And I was like, I'm not making a good live stream. Y'all have to let me know if this was interesting to y'all. But I'm putting together the Acrylic 101 course, and then I'm going to go move on to soldering and welding 101. And that's just $9 a month. If you want monthly coaching, that is a $49 a month thing. And once a month, we'll jump on a Zoom call together. I'll collect your questions, and I'll answer your questions. I'll collect your questions during the week and answer them on the live Zoom call, and then also create some videos and stuff to answer your questions. And then I have a VIP tier, and that is weekly calls, and that's how it's really going to start. And it's just coaching. If you really are serious about getting your ortho lab career and learning how to not make mistakes like this, check out that. You can also, I'll put a link down below, book a call with me if you want to discuss it, and we can see your path, where you want to go, where you're starting from, where you want to go. But there's something for everybody in this Orthodontic Lab Academy, so go check it out if you want to do this. Hey, if you're already a tried and true ortho lab owner and technician, probably not for you, but you know, I'm glad you're here watching this. But let's see, do I have anything else? Okay, this is a pressure pot alternative. It is called the Aqua Press. You could probably find it sold somewhere else. It seems really expensive, but you don't need compressed air. You just fill that little red part up with water to the brim. You put your retainer in there. Now this is going to be soaking, so you're going to have to pre-soak your model. And you saw how bad that was. I think it has to be totally full with water. So I would do teeth down in that pressure pot to make the bubbles go up. And so you twist that handle, and that adds the 1 atmospheric bar of pressure, whatever you need to prevent the small little bubbles. I did look to see if Amazon did add all these. I do have Amazon link down below with all these. I'm just going to send you to my Amazon page, and there's another one, 658. It's got a heater down below. I've used one of these in another lab, and it's pretty good. But it does use compressed air. If you want to look up Posca Dental, they have one that has an air compressor built inside of it, so you don't need an air compressor. This is the one I use. That's the one that's behind me there, $650. I think I bought mine used. They have refurbished ones sometimes, so keep an eye out. But this is from Great Lakes Orthodontics, greatlakesdentaltech.com, and you can do that. Again, I'll have all these links in where you can buy this kind of stuff. All the items you need for the school will also be in the Orthodontic Lab Academy. I didn't share this tab. I don't know if I shared this tab. So this is the first one I was talking about I worked at that has the heating element down below. And this is the Great Lakes one that I use that's behind me. And so again, if you're interested, if you're new to the industry and you're curious and you want to advance your skills, check out my Orthodontic Lab Academy. I'd like to see you in there. We got a great community. I'm building it now. We got 4 members, and there's it's almost like Facebook groups, but it's going to be dedicated to just ortho lab tech talk. So that being said, I'm going to end it there. Thank you for hanging out for this whole time. Hopefully that helps you with any issues you're having, so you can diagnose when a retainer looks very bubbly. You'll know, hey, I think I might have forgot to turn the pressure pot on, or I didn't soak it before I did the submerge. Come on, focus. Okay, there we go. So anyway, I'll let you go, and until next time, where's my coffee cup? Happy bending. Link down below.